everyone, I'm Jane Williams. I'd like to thank the International Society for Equitation Science for inviting me to share my equitation science journey with you. I've been involved in the equestrian industry as a lecturer and researcher for over 15 years, working with all types of horses. I'm passionate that we should use research to generate evidence that can improve horses' lives and the relationship we have with them. The International Society for Equitation Science has been a pivotal part of how I got here, and I'd like to share that with you. There have always been two constant themes in my life: animals and wanting to know the why behind what I observe. I was the annoying kid in school who always wanted to know why something was where it was, how it worked, or how we could change it. I can't remember a time when I wasn't drawn to and fascinated by animals of all species, but there was a problem. I lived in inner city Liverpool, in a terrace street, and my mum was not animal focused. She wouldn't let me have a dog, let alone a horse, and I had a hamster for a short period of time. But I was lucky that I could visit the local inner city farm, which had 3 beautiful Cleveland Bay horses, and I fell in love with them, and I helped out and worked on a local yard, which you can see from the photos was still very much in a city environment and had limited resources. I also have a family background in Ireland and spent summers as a child on a farm in Murphy in County Clare, rural Ireland. This was the opposite of home in Liverpool, and once my obsession with anything equine was known, whoever we visited, if they had a horse or a donkey, I finally got my first horse, Murphy, who's in the middle picture, and took up residence in the yard where I helped out. Fast forward a few years, and in 2000, I was a qualified vet nurse and moved to Bicton College in Devon. I took 2 Weimaraners with me and a Cleveland Bay cross called Phoebe. This was a pivotal step for me. I had more autonomy and options for how I could manage my horse. I was persuaded to apply for a job teaching vet nursing at the college, and by a twist of fate, within 6 months took on responsibility for the foundation degrees there. These were validated by the University of Plymouth, and I met my long-time mentor and incredibly good friend, Hayley Randall, who was the university's link person. Meeting Hayley changed my life, and I now had someone to discuss the whys, the whats, and the hows with, someone who fostered my curiosity and encouraged me to strive for better, to engage in research, and introduced me to equitation science and the society. Supported by Hayley, I found out more about equitation science. I've paraphrased the charity's objects on the screen, but it's these principles which did and continue to make me identify with equitation science. We put the horse first, but understand people also need support to do this, and understand how science and research help us to evolve our practice, providing a supportive and welcoming community which does not shout down the opinions of others, preferring to engage in discussion and to understand others' perspectives. We promote evidence-informed approaches and share these to the wider equestrian sector, something I would have really welcomed when I started out with horses. I became actively involved in equitation science, gaining and learning so much from the community and those within it. I joined council as membership secretary, then treasurer, eventually moving on to join presidential council and being involved in numerous conferences. As my career developed, I did a master's in equine science at Hartbury, became employed there, met key influence, and when I did my PhD, I brought Hayley on board to help me as a supervisor. And I started to become more and more involved in equestrian research. All of this was shaping me, who I was, how I wanted to do research, and how I wanted to engage with horses. And that drive to understand why was evolving into more. I still wanted to know why and still do, but also I wanted and still do to make a difference. I find Simon Sinek's Why and the Golden Circle really captures where I am as a person and a researcher, which is the image on the left. My philosophy is to take an applied approach to research, to look at that bigger picture, to gather information and evidence from all areas that can contribute to find solutions, applying a systems approach, which you can see in the middle of the screen. This again pulls bits and pieces together and allows me to embed the principles of equitation science and bring people with me. That sort of sums up to where I am now. So taking the Simon Sinek's model, the horse becomes first, the horse is the golden circle or the why in the middle. We then pull together the how through all the different subject areas, and the what is the output or the change or whatever we develop at the end of it. And this has led to my wider involvement in other collaborative groups across industry and research, promoting this type of transdisciplinary approach to research. I'm a firm believer that if you do what you love, you will love what you do. and I'm incredibly privileged to be able to work and research with horses in my career. So to finish, I'd like you to indulge me to highlight some of the projects that I have and I'm lucky enough to be part of. I'm a firm believer in understanding and working with horse owners and industry alongside applying principles of research integrity and scientific process to generate change. Examples of projects which I've been involved with in this space include the UK's first thoroughbred census to enhance former racehorse traceability, profiling International Equestrian Federation stakeholder consensus on essential areas within the management and training of sport horses to optimise their welfare, working with the World Breeding Federation for sport horses to determine their priorities for breeding, to inform systematic literature reviews, which then went on to inform the production of values for that sector and for welfare principles that they're looking to take on board. Building on the fabulous work done across the equitation science community with the ISES taper gauge, we've been doing some other work which has contributed to the evidence base, which has cumulatively generated a tipping point in the sector that have changed practice and led to the implementation of standard measurement of nosebands in FEI competition. My ongoing work is continuing to evaluate measures of positive affective state in horses across looking at TAC, looking at welfare, looking at performance and bringing all of them areas together. My experience has been I've been really privileged to be in a position to help shape practice for future generations through my role at Hartpury. I've consistently applied equitation science principles into my practice at Hartpury. The university hosted the ISES conference in 2022, which was very exciting. And we have and continue to link with Hayley, Natalie Warren, Andrew McLean, amongst many other equitation science stalwarts to develop and evolve practice and to support our horses, our staff and our students. This has led to development of Hartpury's equine values and horse charter, which sets out principles and commitment to how we engage with our horses and the equestrian community. We have embedded the first principles within this and equitation science across our curriculum, including validating a Masters by Research, as well as sharing this message wider across the equestrian sector. So what does the future look like? I believe there are real opportunities with the increased debate around social licence and increased focus on equine welfare that are being generated. I also believe equitation science will be a key community and discipline area informing research and evolving practice as part of this broad transdisciplinary approach to help people provide their horses with a good life, and I'm really excited to continue to be a part of this. Thank you again for listening, and a heartfelt thank you to the International Society for Equitation Science for the support you've given me to help me where I have got to now, and to your members and yourselves for your challenge, courage and inspiration as we move forward in this world. Thank you.